All right. Happy Monday, everybody. I'm coming from you live in Boston. Well, we're experiencing a nor'easter here. And it's a great day, though, to have some conversation about marketing, Lee. I'm telling you that much. We are excited about today's session. We are going to be breaking down this week's plan. I'm joined by the fan favorite, beloved amongst not only the employees here at Listing Leads, but also amongst all of our customers, Lee Atkins. Lee, how you doing today, brother?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. It's always fun to dive into this with you on Mondays.
I know. Well, today is officially a holiday, but we thought we would do today's session because I know many of you right now, if you're not a W-2 employee, chances are you don't celebrate the bank holidays. You're probably out there trying to, grow your business, especially in the month of October here. We got a little bit less than 80 days left in the year, if my math's right, or close to it at least. And so a lot of us are just really focused on making the most of the time we have available. So Lee, I'm going to give a quick overview of the market, but before I do, could you just because we got a lot of people on today's call who probably the first time they're being on a campaign kickoff call, could you just set the stage and just explain what the campaign kickoff call is and why we do it every week?
Yeah, so every Monday at 2 o'clock Eastern, Jimmy and I love to run down the upcoming week's content, talk a bit more about the strategy behind it, and help you execute it. We love when you can execute right on the call or watch the replay and set it and forget it because we all know you got better things to do. Being in houses with people is the only way to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
let's send out some emails and texts and then get to it.
That's exactly right. It's funny. There's this concept that I popularized a couple of years ago to try to kind of explain this phenomenon that happens in real estate, which is the phenomenon is something we call the vicious cycle. Is that when you're not busy and you don't have any appointments and you don't have any customers you're servicing, you spend all of your time marketing and prospecting. And it doesn't make a difference if you're doing, I don't know, a direct mail, postcards, email, social, ads, email, texting, calling, open houses. If you just start kind of getting in action, what happens is you start talking to a lot more people, you start having conversations, it becomes appointments, you get customers. In the moment, and let me know in the chat right now, let me know in the chat right now, the moment that your pipeline is full and you have lots of customers, what is the very first thing that you stop doing? Drop in the chat right now. What's the very first thing that you stop doing when you actually have customers? Right? Kim, Dan, Karen, exactly. Exactly. And so Maria's spot on, right? Stop marketing. So this is the curse of us in real estate, which is that oftentimes the thing that gets us business is the thing we stop doing when we have business. We call it the vicious cycle. And so part of the reason why at Listing Leads we're so passionate about what we do, and the reason that I think we have now over 4,000 members who are part of the community, the reason we are so obsessed over this is because if we can just take like 95% of the effort and work involved in marketing and condense what would normally be 10 to 12 hours a week into 30 minutes a week, we know that we can keep you busy when you're busy. And that is the best way to stay busy in real estate. So, on that note, Lee, I want to give a quick before I share my screen here. Actually, I'll go ahead and pull it up. Actually, I'm gonna share my screen. Let me give a quick overview of what I'm seeing in the market. Most people don't know this right now, but the month of October is when you see the largest percentage of listings that have a price reduction in the US. Historically, October is actually the month where you see price reductions. Now, I've done a bit of research on this, and what you see is you see on average when the price point's a little bit lower, you're seeing about one every four, one every five listings take a price reduction. So if you're under $500,000 median sales price, you're going to see about one in four to one in five homes take a price reduction. As the price point goes up, in fact, the actual percentage of homes who take a price reduction actually begins to go down. Now, the dollar volume of the price reduction, as you can imagine, is going up as well. And so, what you typically see, according to the research I've done, is you typically see about, on average, a 4.1% decline in price when the average consumer is doing a price reduction. So, not as high as five, but not as low as up as 2.5%. So, when you take all that information and you kind of start to analyze it and get some perspective on Lee, I think what's interesting about October is when serious sellers and serious buyers come out of the woodwork. I think it's the best way to put it. is that when you get people who are trying to sell their house before the end of the year, there's just kind of this moment in their mind where if they can get it sold before the end of the year, it's like this line of demarcation. They could start the next year off strong. So they're going to be a lot more aggressive in the month of October and November than maybe they would be in late December when they've given up hope, or certainly in early January when they have aspirations of a booming spring market. On the buy side, you're going to find some people who are serious. And I guess everyone here can relate to this right now in the chat, is that everyone can relate to this where, like, right now, uh, the people you're probably talking to, the buyers you're talking to right now, are serious buyers. The people who come out in October, November are the ones who are serious buyers, but oftentimes ones who are looking for a good deal. So this week, what we wanted to do is taking all that information. We wanted to take this week and make this week really about leveraging price reductions in the smartest and the best way. So to start, we actually dropped a brand new deal of the week Instagram post. So if you're not familiar with deal of the week, Lee, could you maybe just give some perspective on deal of the week? 'Cause I know a lot of people know what it is, but some people don't know what it is. So let's give just a quick overview of what it is.
Yeah, I think it's important too because I think a lot of people, for right or wrong, misunderstand the deal of the week as well. We're not trying to send people listings. This is not, hey, this is the listing. Do you want to go see it? This is the one. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a magic carrot saying, hey, there's this magical listing out there that checks all the boxes.
Yep.
Are you interested in me sending it to you?
Mm-hmm.
Now, arriving at that property is important. And obviously, we've built both a tool and an automated system to help you find that property that is
Mm-hmm.
interesting to a lot of people. And I
Yep.
want to clarify the deal of the week tool as well. Since you hopped there, I'm with that. So automate.listingleads.com/deal is what we call the deal of the week tool. And all this does is help you identify the property. This doesn't
Mm-hmm.
automate the sending. This doesn't do anything crazy. Jimmy just dropped the link in. This literally just helps you find a property that's interesting to people at scale
Mm-hmm.
so that you can use the details of that property to send out a deal of the week email. It shows
Correct.
your expertise. It shows you're working in the market. It shows you're aware of super secret properties that other agents may not know about.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be clear, it's implying a lot of things, but the call to action is to reply. We're not
Yep.
sending the listing. We're not sending pictures. We're not sending a bunch of detail about it. Hey, I have this cool listing. Do you want it?
Yep. Yep. That's exactly right. And so when I come back to the Instagram post that we created for Deal of the Week this week, is we have a brand new Canva template, which is, again, this is actually kind of based on some of the more recent direct to consumer ad campaigns we've been seeing, where they've been displaying like the NS not safe for work, or they've been doing the warning sign, or maybe the airdrop sign. So we use that as kind of inspiration. But the idea would be, you find a deal of the week, you identify, okay, what are the maybe top 3 features that people need to know? And then you have an Instagram poll that basically says, hey, do you want more information on this home? Do you want the link? And the important thing to remember here is this is one of the best and easiest fastest ways to get business from Instagram. Is you need to think about Instagram as a lead funnel, which is my goal here. Is I'm going to get thousands of people over the course of a month, maybe 100 people at first, but as I grow my Instagram following, thousands of people a month looking at my stories. Can I convert people who are viewing my stories on Instagram into prospects I can add to my database? And so I want you to have this kind of always growing mindset when it comes to leveraging Instagram. Now, here's the thing people need to realize, Lee. We talked about this beginning of last week's session. We mentioned in the week prior. We mentioned the week prior. We mentioned the week prior to that. There are 3 things you have to remember. Number one, and this is the 3 things. If you remember these 3 things, you are going to unlock growth in your business. These are 3 things you have to remember. Number one, the agent who has the most conversations wins. Number two, the way to have more conversations is through better marketing. And number 3, the way to be better at marketing is to do so consistently. Results come from repetition.
I don't know what, every Monday, maybe, Jimmy? Is that what we're thinking?
It's like, I mean, we're gonna say this until every one of these calls can repeat that
Right.
mantra. It is conversations is a result of better marketing is a result of consistency. You can't get good at something you do once every 3 or 4 weeks. So this is the brand new deal of the week template. We dropped that one. If you want to go back, you can go into our library. We have a ton of other variations of the deal of the week. So we have ones that are stories. We have ones that are just like carousel style. We got a bunch in there. You can explore that. We're always trying to give you something new and fresh and interesting. So Lee, that is the deal of the week. Instagram posts. Obviously, we have the deal of the week email template as well that you can use. We have a variation of this. At the end of today's session, I'm going to do a walkthrough with you. I'm going to do a walkthrough of this with you. At the end of today's session, let me know how many of you right now are currently subscribed to our brand new AI mode. Let me know in the chat right now. Are you using AI mode or you have not set your account up yet? Let me know in the chat. So we get a handful of people. Great. So if you have not used it, we'll dive into it at the end of today's session. All right. So building on that, the second email that we have the second email we have, yeah, for those of you stick around to the end, we'll do a full setup on AI mode for those of you who have signed up but haven't configured your account, or you've signed up or you haven't signed up and you need to configure your account. So the second email, Lee, you'll notice a kind of quick change here to this email. This is our email of the week. Subject line: Is this the easiest way to find a deal? Now, I want to take a moment for a second because uh, I'll come back to the email because we did two things here that are important. We made one really important improvement, which is you'll notice we now include something called inbox preview with all of our emails. And so inbox preview is this is the text we want you to use in your email tool. If you're using AI mode, we automate this. But if you're using a MailChimp or Follow Up Boss batch emails, you're sending your own emails, we now include a preview text as well. And the reason is because that's the text that's going to show up in their inbox before they click through. So we're going to include another line just to kind of hook them into that email. Now, Lee, I want to give a shout out to our amazing creative team, specifically Bethany, which is every week we now collect like 30 to 50 email subject lines from all these different e-commerce brands, from all these different influencers, from all these different companies trying to sell you something online. And we have this doc that so in preparation for the email of the week, we have this doc that we just go through and like we look at all the new stuff, what's catching our eye, what we think is most relevant, what we think we can repurpose. And so this is a subject line, which is really based on like something I think Amazon sent out, which is obviously, Amazon, they test everything. But it's a great way to hook somebody in who's interested in looking for potentially a deal. As I mentioned, October is the price reduction month. If you've been paying attention to the market, you've noticed a lot more homes for sale. But what you might have missed is we're seeing significant rise in price reductions, some small, some huge, which is why today I'm going to review all the price reductions in the last 7 days to find the hidden gems. Once I've got my list of the best deals, should I send it to you right away? Now, the reason we send this particular email is because rather than you do the work before you have an opportunity, we want to be able to create the opportunity so you can justify the work. You guys with me on this in the chat? Like, let me know. I want you to get people to reply before you do a deep analysis of your market. And so the goal here is very simple. The goal here, very simple, is to get someone to engage with us. And as Lee mentioned in the beginning, we're trying to have more conversations. Now, Lee, in the top section here, you'll notice that we do actually break down the how to execute section. So if you're not using AI mode and you're still sending it manually, we give you sort of a full breakdown. Hey, here's what we want you to do, and here's who we want you to target. In this case, we want you to target your entire database with this message. That includes your clients as well. Okay, that includes your clients as well. Now, let me give one caveat. Lee, I'm okay. I'm okay if someone wants to exclude someone they sold a house to in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
Right? I'm totally fine with that. Like if I'd rather this is a big thing people struggle with. Like let me know in the chat right now. Do you guys struggle with like segmenting your database? Is that something that's like you just like you feel like you're just caught in analysis paralysis? Like you can see, oh, always, yes,
Everyone.
yes, exclamation point. Okay. Let me coach you up on this because this is important. At Listing Leads, we have three primary audiences. We have first prospects. These are people you haven't worked with. Second is clients. This is people you have worked with. Third is everyone. Those are the audiences that I want you to have in your database. Now, you make the exception, which is rather than say, who do I include? I want you to reframe that as who do I exclude? Because in your mind, you're like, Jimmy, I have these out of town sellers. I'm going to exclude them. Or I got these clients who just bought a house in the last 12 months. I'm going to exclude them. Or, I got this like group of people who are like part of my BNI. I'm not going to put them in my email. Totally fine. But your exclude list is going to be a lot smaller than your include list. And what happens is when I look at most people's email marketing, what I find, Lee, is they've got these massive blind spots. I mean, they built some lists like called like my email subscribers, and it's like 20% of their database. And they've got like, 10 different tags and all these different segments, all these different smart lists. And what happens is they are sort of ignoring 30%, 40%, or even greater of the database who's not getting regular communication. That's a problem. And so I want you to think about it in prospects, people I haven't worked with, clients, people I have worked with, and then everyone. And then just decide based on the message, because you know your database better than we do. Decide on the message, who should I maybe exclude from this list, if anybody, from that matter. And I'm always okay when it comes to email marketing, including a few extra folks who maybe probably isn't super relevant to, in fear of maybe missing a huge group where it actually is the
Yeah,
point.
Jimmy, I'd love to share a quick story. I did some work with a bigger team last couple of weeks, digging in, and they decided they're switching to Follow Boss.
Yep.
They wanted to text all their clients their new number and do that whole thing. And I cannot tell you how many stories I heard from everyone on the team. Well, I wasn't going to do this guy, but you said to do everybody. And I texted him and he said, "Oh, you know what? That's so crazy. You texted me. My girlfriend and I are thinking about
Yep.
selling this house and buying a new house." Like,
Oh
he
yeah.
makes so many assumptions about it. Oh, they don't want to hear. Oh, they just bought. Oh, that's
Yep.
my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Just execute it. I highly recommend executing it. What's the worst thing that happens? They unsubscribe.
In sales, Lee, you'll know this firsthand. In sales, like a no is almost as good as a yes. It doesn't feel as good as a yes, but actually, all things being
Yes.
equal, a no is almost as good as a yes. All right. So coming back to the plan here for this week. Again, October is the month of price reductions. We're leveraging that angle. You've got your deal of the week that you got on Monday. You could use AI mode to automate that, or you can use your email tool of choice to do that. Then you got your email of the week. Again, price reductions is the focus here. You got your instructions. By the way, we'll talk about this at the end. AI mode can actually automate your deal of the week. So, sorry, your email of the week as well. So right now, Lee, we've got hundreds of people using the deal of the week AI mode,
Right.
but we don't have a lot of people using the email of the week AI mode because we just literally rolled it out last week. So you might have missed that.
Because
So
it
we'll
just happened. I just saw the previews though. People have it set up. It's pretty
Yep,
great.
it's coming through. It's awesome. All right, so let me just before we get into the tactic here, let me just talk about strategy. The reason we send an email on Monday and the reason we send an email on Tuesday is we want to basically engage your database. We're trying to warm your database up. Now, when you log into your CRM, you're going to have a lot of people who just got an email from you, a lot of people who opened up that email, maybe some people who replied to that email. But that's going to become literally the world's best prospecting list. So the reason we have on Wednesday as your sales script of the week is because we just spent the last 2 days getting a bunch of people to raise their hand, a bunch of people to engage with you. So when we send the text of the week, what we're doing here is we're just reaching out to anybody and everybody who's basically engaged with us in some capacity. And my advice is like, if I can wave a magic wand, I would want you sending about 50 of these a day, Wednesday through Sunday. Okay. And so let's just do some math on this real quickly. In the event that I've got, let's say, 1,000 people in my database, and actually do me a favor in the chat, let us know how many people do you currently have in your database? 500, 1,000, 1,500. Just right now in the chat, how many people do you have in your database? Give us a ballpark. Okay. So Dan, shout out Dan, 1,800. Roberta, 2,500. Tony, 4,600. We got 6,000 from Maria. Darlene's at, I think, 4,000, 4,500. Okay, great. So many of you, some have a little bit smaller database. Likely those are single agents or maybe relatively new in the business, or just their databases are just like clients. But most of you have about 1,000 people in your database, give or take. I'd say the average is probably about 2,500 based on this my quick math here. So even if you got 500 people in your database, right? As an example, I think it was not Jason. It was Tony. Tony's got about 460. Okay. Tony sends an email on Monday and an email on Tuesday. Tony's going to have 100 to 125 people to follow up with on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Tony can take this text of the week and he can send out, 15 messages a day to get a bunch of people to raise their hand. And so what we're doing with this one is we're basically trying to qualify with copy. We're saying, hey, listen, I just sent you an email. This is the reason why I'm reaching out. While I'm looking, is there a particular feature that your current home is missing that your next one has to have? And Lee, you had this great line you shared with me last week. And I just love this framing. I'm going to share it with this group here because I think it's so important. It is when it comes to a sales script, we never want to ask a question they don't know the answer to. And so anyone who owns a house, actually just hear me out real quick, okay? Hear me out real quick. In the chat, I want you to answer this question. What is one feature that your next home has to have that your current home doesn't have right now? What is one feature that your next home has to have that your current feature your current home doesn't have right now? I can tell you, Lee, for me, like without a doubt, I'm here at my place in Boston. I have a place up in New Hampshire. My place in New Hampshire is open concept. I will never have an open concept house again. Maybe it's got two little girls, but I will never, I will always, we're going to build an addition on the house.
Don't want an echo chamber? Come on.
It sounded great. We bought it during the pandemic. So obviously we bought it sight unseen. It's a beautiful house. It's great, but I will never buy another house as open concept. And you can just see, look at everyone's got
It's awesome. Everybody has an answer.
Everybody's got an answer to this question, right? Maria wants a gym, totally get it, right? Pantry, attached garage, 3-car garage, extra bedroom, primary, and that is such a great way. You hear me say this all the time, Lee, which when it
No
comes to
mortgage. There you go,
no,
Chris.
no mortgage. That's also a great answer, Chris. You'll hear me say this often, which is when it comes to marketing, the first step is the hardest step. So make it the small step. And so all we're trying to do is say, if we can get someone talking, get them engaged, we can build a relationship with them. That is 95% of the battle. Once we talk to them and we're good at our job and we follow up with it, and we do the things we said we're going to do, we're going to win that customer over. And we know this because I think the data is like 80+% of consumers hire the first agent they talk to.
Yep.
So the hard part for a professional agent isn't converting someone when they're having a conversation.
Right.
It happens like that because they sense the professionalism, they sense the sincerity, they sense the fact that you're good at your job. It's actually getting them to put down their brick wall is the point. So Monday, deal of the week. Tuesday, email of the week. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, start texting everybody who opens. This is what we refer to at Listing Leads, right, as our conversion funnel. It's engage your database. It's convert your database. That's the plan. Now, this one is such a cool concept. We're getting into social media here because the beginning of the week, and we talk about this all the time, but I'm going to repeat it because I think it's worth mentioning. The beginning of the week is really all about converting the people you already know. And the end of the week is really all about growing your audience to attract more people into your database. So think about the beginning of the week is engaging and converting, and the end of the week is growing. And actually in the chat right now, let me know, is YouTube and social media, is that a priority for your business in 2026? Are you trying to get better at this in 2026? Let us know right in the chat. Because again, to be clear, Lee, you can just use Listing Leads for email and text and you're good. But we got a lot of people on today's call who really want to get better at social media. Okay.
Well, and Jimmy, that I'll keep this short, but that's why we came around to the campaign kickoff. Doing this consistently is setting aside time to do this with you. Make sure you understand, the impetus behind this content. I mean, Jimmy, we spent, I don't remember how long, a couple of hours last week, as always, just on one of these things, making sure it felt right, the message was clear, down to every word. And so, the goal is truly, truly for this to be a cut and paste easy button. If you want to go make a YouTube video, we will never stop you from that. And there's a ton of great examples to follow. You can use this content in there. But Jimmy, we hear over and over again, the most talented people that we know are cutting and pasting and just sending this.
That's exactly right, Lee. This is a combination of an Instagram poll plus an Instagram reel. And again, to be clear, you could do this through YouTube. If you're not familiar with our YouTube library, we have something called the viral leaderboard, which is here on the left hand side. And not enough people use this tool. I know you guys are busy. I know you guys have a lot of things going on. I want you to check this thing out every week because we update this every week with you. Is this, by the way, for those of you right now, is this the first time you're seeing the viral leaderboard? I mean, like we literally include the most viral posts from the 1,500 plus creators we track on social media, YouTube, Instagram, their best reels, their best videos. It's all in one place. I mean, it's incredible. And if you go back on the left hand side, if you're looking to do a deep dive, we had the best YouTube videos, and we do this with Instagram Reels as well, and we do this with ads. And this thing is such a gold mine because what we do, Lee, is we built a tool internally that we use that helps us identify what we call the outlier score. So this video, the reason we're featuring it is because it was 7 times more popular than the average views on this individual's channel. This one was 3.5. This one was 18 times more popular. This one was literally over 100 times more popular than the average views of the creators' channels. And so we include creators, we add new ones every week. We include creators who have 1,000 subscribers and creators who have 100,000 subscribers. But we normalize our analysis by applying an outlier score. Meaning, if you're Ryan Serhan and you get 10,000 views in your video, congratulations. That's a pretty bad video,
That's called a Tuesday.
right? I mean, yeah, it's like you're like that's a pretty average video for you. But if you're Jimmy Mackin, the realtor in Auburn, New Hampshire, who has 600 subscribers, and you get 10,000 views, well, I mean, that's a Super Bowl for you. And I think that's we can learn. My point is, we can learn as much from the small channels as we can from the large channels. So coming back to the plan here, we have so let me just set this up because I would love for you guys to put this in place, which is we had this idea where when you log into your MLS system, and let me know in the chat right now, when you log into your MLS system, does it feel like you're logging back into the 1990s? Like yes or no in the chat. Like when you log into it, does it feel like you were logging in back to is it a time machine?
I
Okay.
know I shouldn't, this will show my age. I know I shouldn't share this, but I was thinking the other day when I first got in the business here in Atlanta, I literally had to down, it wasn't a plugin. I forgot what they called it. You had to have like this magic box software that could
Yeah.
like translate the database of the CRM, and you could only access it from a physical computer that you had authorized to
I love it. I love it. So Lee, and I think it's perfect because so I actually think it's an advantage, not disadvantage, because from a consumer's perspective, what that looks like is it looks like insider trading. I mean, it looks like you've got access to something that they don't have access to. So like pretty and fast and mobile friendly, that's the consumer thing. But they know, like if you ask, I bet you if you polled 100 consumers and you ask the question, do you think your realtor has access to listings you can't see? I bet you 100 out of 100 consumers, or at least 99% of them, would say yes, absolutely. And so the idea that we had, and we took this idea from like people who've done these kind of behind the scenes, which is it's an Instagram reel. You can use a story too. We have a story as well, but you can see the script is like, hey, it's you on the camera, and on your monitor is going to be the MLS. Obviously, they can't see the information because you're going to be like, you're going to basically have it like pulled out a little bit, but you're going to say, hey, I just finished analyzing what just happened in our market in the last 7 days, and you're going to turn the camera over and you can say all of these homes have had a price reduction of at least 10% in the last 7 days. If you want me to send you a list of these properties, send me a DM right now. That's it. And so we refer to this as sort of a direct response Instagram reel. And like this is like an example, Lee. We have a story version if you don't want to shoot a video. So like you could take like a screenshot, and again, you can blur out information for compliance if you want, but you can take a screenshot of your MLS and say, hey, looking at the MLS right now, all these homes have had a blank price reduction in the last 7 days. Do you want me to send you the list? And so what I would love for you to do, and let me know in the chat if this makes sense, is like I would love for you if you got a little bit extra time this week, it's like, hey, hey, it's Jimmy over here. Well, I would probably, I have to be clear, I wouldn't even open it like that because I know who I am. I'd say, I just finished analyzing what's happened in our market in the last 7 days. Turn the camera on. All of these homes have had a price reduction of at least 13% in the last 72 hours. If you want me to send you a list, send me a DM right now. Or you can, if you want to change it up, just comment like price reductions below. I'll send you a list right away. So you can, again, we're giving you some inspiration. You can play around with that idea, but this is a straightforward fastball down the middle direct response campaign. And so whether you're using an Instagram story or using an Instagram reel, either of these would allow you to get a lot of attention, a lot of action, and a lot of conversations. And the goal, of course, is to take those prospects, and then that becomes people that you add to your database. And guess what? Next week, they're getting the deal of the week. Next week, they're getting the email of the week. Next week, you're following up with a text message. And that's how that machine just continues to churn out opportunities for your business.
And who do
Lee,
people hire, Jimmy?
say that again.
Who do people hire for their agent these days?
They hire the people they actually talk to.
The first person that
The
actually
first person they talk to. I mean, the first
shows up in
person.
their inbox when they make the decision.
I mean, and you know what's really interestingly is recency bias, meaning that
Yeah.
the average consumer knows at least 8 to 9 real estate agents, according to our friends over 1,000 watt, and so it's recency bias. So if I'm an agent who is like has a great relationship with some of my clients, but they haven't heard from me, they haven't seen me, I haven't texted them in 6 months. But there's this other agent who seems to be on their game. It's the old expression we like to use, which is a busy person likes to work with busy people. And when you want something done, you give it to a busy person. And that's the mindset that we want to have going into this. So Lee, we're going to transition now because I want everyone to stick around. We're going to transition right now and we're going to get into AI mode. We covered this week's plan. We covered this week's plan. We covered the email of the week, the deal of the week. We covered the text of the week. We covered the social media strategy of the week. First off, before we transition though, real quickly, how many of you right now, is this a valuable call? Lee and I love doing these calls. We want to give you context. We want to give you some coaching on these calls. Like, let us know in the chat right now. Is this helping you kind of get ready for the week? Yeah. Awesome. Thank
Awesome.
you. Okay, cool. So, Lee, AI mode. Many of you know that the goal for us with listing leads is we want to inspire you with the best marketing campaigns to help you get customers, and then whenever possible, we want to automate it. We are on a mission to help automate as much of the plan as we possibly can. If I could just take a moment, Lee, just to talk about AI for a second to give some perspective on this, because there's so much hype and there's so much it's such a frothy space right now uh, that I think we're kind of entering into this world where there is this bubble, and I think there's this promise that agents have been pitched up until this point where like AI is going to do all these things for them, and it's going to be able to do A and B and C and D and E and F G, and their lives are going to be so much easier. And the fact is that right now AI for most agents has been exploratory, but not really pragmatic and useful. Meaning I belong to these groups. I see these really complex, AI, NAN workflows and all this orchestration and all this automation. And it's like, I get it. It's impressive technology, but is it really actually moving the needle forward? And the world that we're going into right now is we're entering into what I call the post-prompt era, which is right now the benefit of AI for most of us. And we all use AI every day. Like in the chat, like, are you using AI every day like me and Lee? I'm sure you are, right? Like we all use AI every day. Today, AI is predominantly used for writing, for research, and for creative. It's also used for analysis. ChatGPT released OpenAI released a study on this, like how is AI being used. In fact, right now, what's interesting is like I think AI when it first came out, it was like 70% was business use case. Now that's gone down to 20%, meaning 80% of AI is being used for consumer use cases. Just shows you how much it's growing. So right now with AI, uh, the what I believe to be the right pathway forward, and I have a really strong opinion on this, is that the future of AI is solving not really big problems, but really small problems well. It's not about automating every single thing in your business. It's really just removing the paper cuts, the things that work, but kind of like get in your way that a computer should be able to do, can do, would do, but like it just doesn't do it right now. It's the small stuff that AI is actually extraordinarily good at right now today. Now, in the future, in this kind of post prompt era that we're getting into, where there's AI agents who are running complex workflows for you, sure, that's probably, that's it's going to get more sophisticated. It's going to get better. It's going to get better at learning, and you're seeing glimpses of that with tools like Zapier. Zapier in the past, if you wanted to use Zapier to take this data and put it into this system or trigger this event to have this thing happen, you would have to break down the if-then steps at a microscopic level, at atomic level, to basically drive everything through.
Right.
Now you can sort of just describe what you're trying to achieve, and then AI will create those steps for you. I mean, that is totally the future of where we're going. So when we thought about developing AI tools, um, we wanted to focus on tools that are pragmatic. Like, how can we use AI where it's good and where it's reliable and where it's not going to hallucinate? Where can we do that to help save you time and energy and effort? So the first thing I want you to do, we're going to go into AI mode here. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to, in your listing leads account, by the way, everybody who's part of listing leads gets access to AI mode. So you give it 30 days completely free to experience it. But what we're doing right now is we are now automating the deal of the week email and the email of the week email. So AI mode will actually write and personalize this email, and it will send this email for you. So if you click on AI mode for me, and once you've clicked on AI mode, you're going to click on try for 30 days. Click on this, and you're going to go ahead and check out. We're going to have your information saved. By the way, you are not going to be charged today. And if you have an issue with that, Lee will drop a link to the support ticket. We're giving everyone 30 days completely free for AI mode. So let me go ahead and log in. And so I'm logged into my account right now. So, and I'll just stop here for a second because I know people are tracking me here, Lee. So go ahead and click on AI mode, sign up for your account, activate your 30 days free. And by the way, Lee, we will still send out your deal of the week today when you activate your account, and your email of the week today as
Yes.
well.
It's at 4 o'clock. You'll get a preview straight away, and then it'll send at 4.
Yeah, so we're gonna actually automate your email. It's going at 4 o'clock, so we're just gonna do that right now with you. All right. So once you've done that, just let me know when you're viewing this page right now. Just go ahead and say, hey, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in. Let me know so we can keep going
You need
here.
to start opening your own emails there. That open rate's not looking too strong.
I know, I know. These are I'm not helping my deliverability,
Put me on your list, and I'll
which we'll talk about here in a second. All right, awesome. Kim, you're in. Great. All right. So once you're in your account, you're going to notice on the right hand side, you're going to have an option called New Campaign. Go ahead and click on that. And then you're going to see two options. Now, for those of you who already have your AI mode configured, you're going to have your deal of the week already, which you've already probably set up and configured. We'll cover that actually last. We'll start with the email of the week. And on the left-hand side, you're going to have the email of the week. So to be clear, the email of the week, I'll come back to that for a second. The email of the week is going to be the Tuesday email that we're automating. So this is the email of the week. So every Tuesday, this is the email that we're sending out for you. AI mode, you can automate this now. As of 2 weeks ago, you couldn't do it. Now you can automate this through AI mode. So all you have to do, literally, this is like the only time you're ever going to log on this tool. You're going to click on set up and activate. Once you do that, here's an example of like the email of the week. We're going to click on get started. And then once we click on get started here, I'll back up for 1 second here, Lee. It's going to bring you to a page where you'll be able to see your actual email of the week. And I'm actually logged into a test account, so it might just break on me here. Like, give me 1 second while
it's
I'm
all
doing
good.
this. There we go. Okay. It takes a second to load because I think we're all doing it at the same time here. So for the email of the week here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to enroll my contacts. Now, let me be clear. Lee, do you want to maybe give them a quick a rundown of what enrolling contacts is and like the different options we have available?
Yeah. So, I mean, first and foremost, when we say 3,000 contacts, those are 3,000 contacts on campaigns per month. So I want to be super clear about that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, enrolling contacts you can do via CSV. You do via a follow-up boss connection. The follow boss connection allows you to simply select a smart list to send it to. But
Yep.
yeah, as far as your unique contacts go, it's truly just unique email addresses that are receiving a campaign. So we're essentially giving you 3,000 sends
Mm-hmm.
from these tools to the people that you have. One other important point is that you have to sync your entire follow boss account for this to
Mm-hmm.
work.
Yep.
but you're still sending to smaller segments. So if your follow boss is 50,000 people, you can still connect it and send 3,000. You can't send
Yep.
50,000. Well, you can,
Cool.
but
Hmm.
yes, and Karen, thank you. Yes, and I want to be clear, this is unfortunately not working in Canada just yet, but it is very, 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 very close to that.
Yep.
And I want to, there's one, I'm sorry, Jimmy, to jump ahead, but
Sure.
there's
Go
one
ahead.
other quick question that's relevant to this. Wanted to also mention it's super easy to upload any CSV. So yes, it integrates with Follow Boss, but if you have Lofty or KV Core or anything like that, you can simply find your people you want, hit export, upload that CSV right here in the back end, and you're good to go.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And to be clear, just I want to be super, super clear on how we do pricing. It's $99 a month for up to 3,000 contacts you have enrolled in plans. You can have your contacts enrolled into the deal of the week, the email of the week, multiple deals a week. We don't charge you on the number of emails we're sending. It's only on the number of contacts you have enrolled. So Chris asked a great question. Hey, is the email of the week and another $99? No, Chris, is actually included in the AI mode. So our goal, just to be clear, like our goal is to keep our costs as low as humanly possible for you on this product. We're not going to be one of those companies that charge you, like there's not going to be a world where you're going to be paying $1,500 a month for email marketing. And there's lots of solutions out there that have all these robust
You
tools.
can, but we
You
don't want you to.
We just don't want you to. So now when I click on next, review, and activate, now like my email of the week is now activated. I'm done. Click activate. I'm good. I have now enrolled my contacts in the email of the week. Folks, I'm not having to log back in this tool again. Period. I'm done. Like, how many of you just do not want to have another login ever again? Like, that's it. So when you upload your contacts, whether there's a CSV file that you export from your CRM or you do a direct integration with FUB, once you've uploaded your contacts, you're done. It's in there. Now, I want to just take a moment here for a second, which is when it comes to email marketing as a whole, we are thinking very deeply about all the things that matter when it comes to email marketing. So we're provisioning you a branded domain for your account. We are configuring your account in such a way where we're monitoring your deliverability and your performance. We're making sure that you're not ending up in the spam inbox. We're making sure that we're suppressing people who are bouncing. Of course, we're handling unsubscribes. So when it comes to automating email marketing, a lot of these legacy tools, Lee, and I'm not speaking ill of them. I'm just sharing my perspective. A lot of these legacy tools were built in a world where email delivery was like you just send someone an email and it ends up in their inbox. And they got thousands of users using the product. And like there's so much automation that like that's it. They can't manage people's inboxes anymore than anyone at that point because it just becomes really challenging for them to like manage deliverability for 1,000 users. We built AI mode in what we refer to as sort of like this sort of post email era, which is email marketing. It's a beast. I mean, you got to be really thoughtful about warming up your IPs. You got to be really thoughtful about running your content through a spam test. You got to be really thoughtful about making sure that you're changing up your content so it doesn't become so repetitive and get completely ignored. You got to make sure that your emails are actually getting delivered and you're suppressing the bounces and unsubscribes. You got to do all those things. With AI mode, we do it. You literally never have to worry about your deliverability with us. Like that's part of what we take on as responsibility is to say, you know what? We know it's important. We know that a lot of companies saying you should do this, but like there's no way the average everyday agent has the time or interest in managing that stuff, Lee.
That's a full, as you were saying that, I was like, that's a full-time job. Leave it to us nerds to do that.
Well, it's Lee. It's one of those things where I have Karen saying, can listing leads just create a CRM for us? One day.
Stand by. Give
Yeah,
me
no,
6 months.
no. It's the white whale. But for the time being, we are definitely going to stay to what we know. But I've been building email tools for 15 years, and I can just tell you, it's gotten a lot more complicated and a lot more of a moving target. But we are up for the challenge because we want to make sure that we're doing what we can to make sure you get in front of the right people. So Lee, I think it's important as I go back to share my screen. That was the email of the week. Very simple, very fast. Deal of the week is very similar in the sense that we're going to come in here. We're going to choose Auburn, New Hampshire. I'll go ahead and just create a deal of the week. Guys, I'm creating a deal of the week literally live on the air with you. And we have a lot of people doing it, so it might just hang up for us for a second, but we'll get the technology a chance to catch up to us here. So, deal of the week, all you do is come in here and set up your campaign, choose your areas, choose your price range, select your property types. And then we're going to go ahead and test our configuration. This is going to allow us to identify, do we have enough listings hitting the market in that price range? As you can see here, it says success, we have. And so once I've done that, I can click on save and continue. And then I'm going to go ahead and enroll whatever contacts I want to have my deal of the week, click on review and activate, and then I can go ahead and activate my campaign. And I'm done. So that's how the deal of the week and the email of the week work with AI mode. You enroll you for email of the week, you upload your contacts or sync with your FUB, you select which list you want to get the email, you enroll them, you're done. Deal of the week, you configure what area you want to focus on, what price range you want to focus on, what property type you want to focus on. You configure that, you test it, make sure you get enough listings. Then you enroll your contacts, then you activate. Now the email and the deal of the week are both automated. Now, Lee, I want to take a moment because I know we got a bunch of questions coming in. Can we take a moment, just talk about, is there any other questions that are sort of opened up here that we should talk about before we get into what the email previews look like?
Yeah, let's tackle Maureen's question, which was about what I was about to say. Having multiple campaigns potentially for different audiences, different areas, things like that. You want to just tackle that?
Yeah, well, when it comes to the deal of the week, I'm a big believer. I'm a big believer in if your database is organized into different categories, such as like you've got people in Boston, you got people in New Hampshire, you got people in Western Mass as an example. It could make sense for you to set up if you cover basically, Lee, what I'm trying to say is if you cover a large geographic area, it could make sense for you to have like multiple deals of the week. If you cover lots of different price ranges, it could make sense for you to have multiple deals of the week. So Lee, so great question, Maureen. So real quick, I want to show something because whether you're using the deal of the week or you're using the email of the week, and ideally both of them, what you're going to see here is we're going to send you a preview prior to the email going out. And this is an example of the preview. So we're going to say, hey, here's the message for this listing that's going out. Here's the reason why we're featuring it. Because, hey, this listing's got a 7.3% save rate on Zillow. If you don't want to send this email for whatever reason, you can you can simply click this link and you'll skip it. Okay. So you still have control of whether or not an email goes out to your database. At any point, you can skip it. But even if you don't skip it, we're going to send that email for you. And Lee, just to give you some perspective, it's fewer than 10% of people skip it. And it's
Right.
almost always because they have another listing they want to promote that week that's their own that they want to feature for their client. That's usually I'd say that's like 90% of the case. Below, you'll actually see the email that we're sending. And what we do behind the scenes is we analyze Zillow specifically because Zillow has the most accurate views and saves. We identify in the last 7 days which home has had the highest save rate. We then take that information from that property. We unpack all the details about the home. We then apply a prompt to that to create a highly specific, relevant, and personalized email that then becomes what gets sent out to your database. The beauty of this is that every single email sent from Deal of the Week, unlike a listing alert or like a home value alert, is completely different and personalized. And that's a big deal. Like it's not just like, hey, here's some new listings, click this. We're going to take the information we've got available to us. We're going to personalize the email. That's good for your deliverability. It's good for your performance. It's good for the consumer, is the point. So AI mode is now available. We're actually now actively out of beta right now. It is available. If you go to AI mode within Listing Lead, you can sign up. You can automate, obviously, the deal of the week. And of course, you can automate the email of the week as well. We're getting lots of amazing feedback. I mean, we have a great engineering team here at Listing Leads. We're going to keep taking that feedback, keep making the product better. But our goal is to help you get more listings. So if that means developing a great marketing campaign that says, hey, this is what you can do to this week, or if that means like, hey, can we automate this for you? I mean, we're going to do everything we can to set you up for success. Lee, if people have questions about listing leads, could you give them the support email for AI mode, please? Because just in case we have people who are reaching out specifically about AI mode.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this the email I just dropped in the chat is specific to AI mode. So we know you're talking about your AI mode account and not
Yep.
your listing leads account. Um, I just want to say, Jimmy, too, we've got the ability to see these preview emails when they happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's been super cool. I've seen people who are literally on the webinar. I'm seeing their preview emails coming out because they're going to send an email at 4 o'clock today, which is pretty freaking cool, I think.
That's awesome. And we have our email AI mode as AI mode support at listingleads.com. So if you got questions for us, you need some help with the configuration. We have an amazing support team today. Just reach out to us. We're happy to support you. Ultimately, the goal is we are going to keep building AI tools specifically designed to solve a really specific problem. We talked at the beginning of today's call, like we want to build, and you'll see some of these updates we have coming, which I think are going to blow you away. Like we want to build the only email marketing solution that you don't have to worry about writing the content. And I think that's right now when we think about email marketing, there's some amazing tools out there. MailChimp's amazing. ConvertKit's amazing. Active Campaign's amazing. These are very complex, very, very well designed tools with one kind of important exception is that you have to figure out what to
You
send.
have to make it do things.
Yeah. And my mindset is really like, we know what to send. So we're gonna, and our vision is like, well, we now know what to send, and we know AI can personalize that for you. So bring those two worlds together and then send it for you. We got magic, and that's what we're focused on right now. Is keep building that and making the big investments we need to make sure that you're successful. So I hope today's call was helpful. We have a listing leads basics call. If you need a refresher on that, Lee, you want to drop a link to that as well?
Yep, let me grab that super quick. So yeah, tomorrow at 3 o'clock, if my memory is right, we have a basics of listing leads. So walking you both through the plan, but tackling basic questions on just things about setting up your account and
Mm-hmm.
how to execute on the content.
Yep.
So yeah,
Great call for your admin to attend or your VA to attend. 100%.
awesome. Thank you, Julie. We really appreciate that too. We've been doing our best to get everybody quick answers and get things tackled. So really
Exactly.
appreciate you guys. And thanks. I mean, Jimmy, huge audience we got US and Canadian holidays today.
I
Got a
know. I
good
know.
chunk of people working.
That's it. And I mean, like I have never met a successful person in my life who doesn't put the work in. I mean, I'm telling you. So we're honored to have you on today's call. We appreciate all the love and support. We're going to keep building our plans, keep building our tools to make your lives easier, and most importantly, help you get more listings. We'll see you guys next Monday. Keep active in the mastermind group. I'll be in there answering questions. Thanks so much again. We'll see you soon.